Yeah, and these guys got me, Vince. I didn't buy a
Especially where you live. It's self-preservation around you. You can't be flying any type of Biden flags. My God, that place is Republican.
Yeah, and these guys got me, Vince. I didn't buy a boat. I was on my friend's boat.
You're such an asshole. So you lied to me about that too?
Yeah, I was just fucking around. You know, I mean, I can't afford a boat.
I don't know if you're lying or not, but either way, Kelsey, take that kayak.
Owing accountant 1K proves you don't own the boat. Yes, I know. That's why it's fine. I was just fucking with you idiots.
Right. Like they were with you with Kumia, but then it was an outrage. It was a crime of the century. But now it's okay because John's doing it.
Because I love to, really, Vince, I like to fuck with Kevin Brennan.
Of course, you're in love with him and you like that he's watching you. He was so mad. He was asking the dude that actually owns boats, like, wait.
I was mad. The dude who allegedly owns boats, unless I see the Sorcerer's boats, he doesn't own 2 or 3. How many is it? Wait, it's like Ray with girlfriends. How many boats do I have? I don't know. So the dude, you mean the alleged sorcerer? I was mad at him because he has boats. I have never seen his boats. So sorry. As far as I'm concerned, he has 0 boats. 0.
How do I get enough money? Of course, you're in love with him and you like that he's watching you. He was so mad. He was asking
we just watched it. Was I so mad? I was just asking questions. I knew John didn't own a boat. John had to get sued for child support. But the Sorcerer was like, yeah, I think he does have a boat. It's possible with compound interest. And, John has no money. John's mom bought his house. And I'm not going from sources. John told me that. John's credit was shit. So his old mom had to buy the house. This is what John told me.
The dude that actually owns boats, like, wait, how do I get enough?
No. He doesn't know. He says he owns boats. We're not going by what anybody says anymore. Nobody. We're out of that world. We're not going by. We're again. He can the Sorcerer can come on whatever he wants, talk about whatever he wants, but he does not own boats unless I actually go on his boat and I see a bill of sale. That's a fact.
Love with him and you like that he's watching you. He was so mad. He was asking the dude that actually owns boats, like, wait, how do I get enough money to get a boat? But Kevin's a gambler. He's an Irish drunk gambler. So you never.
Right. So now I'm gonna sue Vince for $12 million, like he sued John. Remember that work? He was gonna sue John for $12 million for defamation of character and slander and libel. So I'm going to sue him because I'm a gambler based on what? I'm a gambler based on what? I think Vince is basing it on, I was playing poker in Atlantic City at the Borgata when he was there, when him and John were playing footsie that night, that Saturday night when Bob threw a drink at me. I think that's what Vince is basing it on. That I'm a what do you say? I'm an Irish gambler drinker. So I should sue him now. I should get a lawyer, or maybe I'll go to law school. How hard can it be if Vince can be a lawyer? But again, is Vince a lawyer? I haven't seen his law degree.
Never has any money. So mad. He was asking the dude that actually owns boats, like, wait, how do I get enough money to get a boat? But Kevin's a gambler. He's an Irish drunk gambler.
Right. I'm an Irish drunk gambler. So I never have any money. Wow, that's interesting. I'm sure I could sue him for that. I'm an Irish drunk gambler. Wow. Okay. I'm an Irish drunk gambler. I'm Irish. That's true. I'm drunk. Not even drunk. Do I gamble? When's the last time I gambled? I don't know. I don't gamble online. Oh, unless you count betting against the Yankees. You got me. I gambled against the Yankees. I mean, I gambled with them so they would lose, and it worked.
So he never has any. He was so mad. He was asking the dude that actually owns boats, like, wait, how do I get enough money to get a boat?
No. I would never buy a boat. I was asking him questions about boats because I didn't know he owned boats. He owned two boats. And I was asking him, John doesn't have money for a boat. And of course, John did it. And of course, I was right. John had to borrow the boat to pretend. It was just a work to stick it to Brennan.
But Kevin's a gambler. He's an Irish drunk gambler, so he never has any money.
Right.
But yeah, I just wanted to fuck with him because he always says I don't have 2 dimes.
Right, and that's a fact. He just proved my point. It's like Gary Goldman. I called Gary Goldman violent, and then he threw me up against the wall to prove me right. John's gonna stick it to me by pretending he had a boat for a day. So that's how he proved that he was doing well, by sitting on a boat.
Rub together or
No, you wanted to fuck him. You wanted any money.
But yeah, I just wanted to fuck with him because he always says I don't have 2 dimes.
Right, and you don't. Right? Unless the sorcerer can come up with... No, I think John's wealthy. John's wealthy because he's been compounding interest, that he's not paying child support.
To rub together
right.
No, you wanted to fuck him. You wanted to rub together.
I have 2 nickels, so I just wanted to do that to fucking... But I don't care. You can have the kayak or go, but I mean...
All right, Kelsey, we have permission.
Wow. Where's this? Okay, I think this is Misery Loves Clips. This is the beginning when I watched, I guess, on Saturday, when I literally right off the bat was like, John doesn't own a boat. John doesn't own a boat.
Hey, everybody. Just sitting on my boat here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it sucks being broke. Here is my new toy, if you will.
If you will. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt me.
Yeah, it sucks being broke. Here is my new toy, if you will.
I'm gonna need proof of sale. First, right off the bat, I already knew it's fake. I don't need proof of sale. That's the first thing I said after watching this. John and his boat. First of all, I think the Sorcerer's coming on, but can't you just rent a boat? Yeah, or sit on your friend's boat. I agree with this guy 100%.
Just sitting on my boat here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it sucks being broke. Here is my new toy, if you will.
I'm gonna need proof of sale. First of all, I think the Sorcerer's coming on, but can't you just rent a boat and pretend you own it? Can't you? This is the whole clip. I think you can.
Hanging out on my...
All right. So there you go. I don't need me to watch it again.
Here is my new toy, if you will.
I'm gonna need proof of sale. First of all, I think the Sorcerer's coming on, but can't you just rent a boat? Yeah, John didn't even rent a boat. John didn't even have the money to rent a boat. He sat on his friend's boat. Right, but I'm the clown. Everybody else is like, nah, he probably has a boat. Ray probably has a girlfriend. Now I got to go see Ray later, which I'm already regretting that. The whole thing with Ray was that we were going to meet Ray's girlfriend. Of course, he don't have a girlfriend, just like John don't have a boat. So there you go. Market galleries 11/7/24 of the day. KB turn on the Sorcerer. No, I'm just stating a fact. It's like he don't have boats. Again, if he's this bad at seeing the obvious, so I'm bad for seeing the obvious. Is that what you're telling me? John didn't have a boat. He's like, well, no, compounding interest. And I was like, no, John doesn't have any money. And again, the Sorcerer's aware. So again, he's like our leader. The Sorcerer, our leader. He's our wise man. He's the guy who sits, and we go to him like a grasshopper. And he's like, no, well, John, they're not that expensive. For John, they are. John has money for beer and that barely. Has the Sorcerer got anything right? Doubt it. I mean, if you can't see the obvious, then what are we doing here? So I have to sit here and see the obvious and then pretend that maybe I'm wrong? I have to pretend like, yeah, John probably does have a boat. And again, Saturday was a long time ago. So when I saw the clips today, I'm like, no, right off the bat, I'm like, there's no boat. There's no boat. Just like Ray doesn't have a girlfriend. Ray, she's like, it was election day. Got it, Ray. But again, everyone's living in a fantasy world. Everybody lives in a fantasy world. KB, did you get Neil to give you Wesley Snipes' accountant's number yet? I'll be fine. Don't worry about it. This ain't boat magazine, pal. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. But no, I mean, no, you got to consider the fact that maybe John has a boat. Do I? I have to consider that. Maybe Ray is a girlfriend. KB, can you turn on Mr. Kill Everything one last time? Can you turn on Mr. One last time before Sorcerer, please? No, I'm just pointing out the obvious. I'm pointing out the obvious that it was obvious John didn't have a boat. It's obvious, but again, I was gaslit by a professional man who's like who has boats, 2 or 3. That if you compound your interest, it's not that expensive. John has $26,000 in compounded interest sitting around, but he can't support his kids. He had to get sued for child support, and his mom had to buy a house, and he lived in a shitty part of LA. But yeah, you're probably right. He probably does have a boat. I'm mistaken. Stuttering John is going to expire alone and broke. I figured Stuttering John is going to expire alone and broke. I figured that out in 1990 when the guy was hot on Howard Stern. Let's move on. I don't even know what that means. You figured that out in 1990. Did you tweet it? Did you tweet it out? Did you tell anybody? Did you tell anybody? Or you just done it to yourself? KB is so mad at Sorcerer. He's Jewish now? You don't have to be Jewish. Do you need to ride my horses to prove I have them too? I would prefer a picture with you standing. No, that wouldn't count because you could stand next to your horse. So I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter. Again, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's like, I mean, again, I saw the obvious. I see the obvious, and I just point out the obvious. But like, that's a problem. That's a problem. And then John was sticking it to me because he said, I always say he's poor, which he is. And then he was sticking it to me by pretending he was rich for one day. To think Stuttering John would ever own a boat is insanity. Yeah. So again, what are we doing? What are we doing? So I have to pretend that maybe. So I have to pretend Ray has a girlfriend. What else do I have to pretend? Just let me know when I can stop pretending. So I have to sit here and consider the possibility that John bought a boat. And then it turns out John was doing a work, even though he finds works disgusting, to stick it to me, to prove to me that he was not poor. I mean, it's like, I'll keep doing the shows, but it's like, you gotta consider the fact that, like, at this point, it's a bit of a head scratcher. So now I got to go meet Ray. Again, we were supposed to, the whole thing with Ray was, it was going to be Ray and Gustav and me and all having a steak dinner. But now Ray's going to ride his bike. I mean, it's like, ride your bike to do gigs. Ray thinks he's 20. Thinks he's a 20-year-old open micer. But I'm wrong. I'm always wrong. John had a boat. If you compound your interest properly, don't touch it. Just leave it alone. You'll have money for a boat. That's what I should believe. John might have a boat if he compounds his interest. Teo Hank, Vince the lawyer, if you don't know it's illegal, then it's not a crime. Yeah, that's not true. Ignorance of the law is no. I learned this in wherever. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. It's not an excuse. You can't be like, I don't know it's a crime. I didn't know it was a crime, so it's not a crime. That's not true. Vince the lawyer's a loser. Listen, he's a loser. He was going to sue John for how much? 12 million? Again, was that another work? Vince the lawyer sits there with a phone line. Nobody calls. He just sits there. He's looking away at the other show. And then him and John, yeah. Vince the lawyer, if you don't know it's illegal, then it's not a crime. 2-Bump Bobby, best joke ever. I used that on a rape charge in 2005. Oh, Bob made a joke. Sorcerer, just got here. What I missed? No, nothing. Just about, I'm an idiot because, I thought John's boat was fake. But you're like, no, you probably got it with compound interest. If you compound your interest, if I compound this interest, $50, I mean, and then I got to be like, yeah, maybe, because I'm an idiot and you're a wise man. So compound your interest. If they're not that expensive. John has money for a boat. Of course he does. How would he not have money for a boat? Oh, well, his wife had to sue him for child support. His mom had to buy him a house in Florida. And he lived in a shitty part of LA for years, decades, probably. Johnny Carson. Vince is John's single white female. He goes after anyone John likes. Quad, Brian Karam, Sergeant Major, you, Rob Saul, and Clay Dabler have all been in Vincent's sights. If Vince can't have him, nobody can. Yeah, he can have him. He can have him.